All right, guys, welcome back. Welcome back to another video. Today's video is going to be about what if Wizards of the Coast started doing other bannings that affected Commander. I was thinking about this because they banned the Mana Crypt, the Jewel Lotus, Dockside, and Nadu, the Commander Rules Committee. But now Wizards is now involved directly with the Commander banning committee now, so they essentially take over of the whole decision making. But what if they actually did something crazy and controlled it where they would ban other powerful fast mana cards for the format? And it brings a lot of disturbing issues, not only financially, but also the faith of Wizards. And I want to talk about that today. Hope you guys are doing well. Enjoy the video, guys. The pool is done. Got some furniture. Let's go slide off this and enjoy the day.
Vintage Magic. Game, collect, invest. For more information about our consulting and professional services, visit vintagemagic.com.
All right, what's up, guys? It's me, Daniel, with vintagemagic.com, and welcome back to another video. A discussion about some what-ifs, but they could happen one day. You never really know with a company like Wizards of the Coast and Magic the Gathering. All right, and by the way, before we start, if you guys are looking for cards that are not going to get banned anytime soon, but they're on the reserve list, check out our eBay auctions. They are on auction right now. I think there's some auctions ending tomorrow, so go ahead and bid, and some great value in those cards. All right, so let's talk about what I was saying earlier in the video, and I kind of want to elaborate on this. It was announced that Wizards of the Coast is now taking over the Commander Rules Committee, which is a first-time thing, unprecedented. This happening, well, in response, I think, to the whole 4-card banning of particularly Jewel Lotus and also Mana Crypt, which are extremely important fast mana cards in the format. And it's a concerning thing to me because I'm really concerned now that Wizards is involved. They could easily start banning other fast mana cards. I mean, what are some fast mana cards? Like Gaea's Cradle? I mean, that's a pretty awesome fucking card. How about Soul Ring? Everybody's been talking about Soul Ring. If you ban Soul Ring, well, that pretty much ends Magic the Gathering as we know it. It's the most famous fast mana card ever in Magic the Gathering history that, well, I guess isn't the Black Lotus, but it's the #1 card in every single deck in Commander. I don't know one deck in Commander that doesn't use Soul Ring. Please name one. Comment down below. Just curious. But it's concerning. What if they did that? I don't understand where this is going to go. I do have a speculation that Wizards is going to do some PR work here and try to talk about why this was even done. I guess maybe do some unbanning. I don't know. A lot of people are calling for Jewel Lotus and Mana Crypt to be unbanned because it's obviously a staple for a lot of people's decks and most decks. But the argument here, which I can totally understand as a player of a game, that you want creativity, you want games to be more fun, longer drawn out. You might as well just play old school Magic, to be honest. For those of you who are watching this video who haven't played old school Magic, 1993, 1994, it's an awesome format. Check it out, Google it. It involves those eras of cards where you can basically have slower gameplay. Now, there's obviously some really powerful decks like the deck. You have other, blue-red control. You have some other, like mono black is really powerful. But overall, there is some creativity. It's a slower gameplay feel. But there are some seriously powered OP cards that are restricted in the format. So it allows more fair gameplay. Now, Commander, obviously, because you're allowed to have one copy of each card, everything's restricted. You start wondering, well, mana is a crucial element for the game. The faster you have more mana and other combinations to get more mana, you can basically start casting your commander, do other degenerate things and combos, and you can pretty much win the game, right? That's how it works in Magic and pretty much all modern day formats, except pretty much old school and Alpha 40. So, how can you make it even the playing field? Well, you obviously eliminate Jewel Lotus, which allows you to cast your commander faster, and Mana Crypt, which is pretty much like a Soul Ring without having a mana first, but you lose a penalty of potentially 3 life, which is negligible on your upkeep when you have 40 life in commander. Much more different if you had 20 life. Now, if you combine that with other fast mana items, artifacts or whatever, lands, you essentially are going to, get ahead of the game, steamroll it, and it loses a lot of creativity, because if most of the decks have fast mana cards, you essentially are making the game very boring. And I get that. 100% get that. Now, here's the problem. The problem is people are all butthurt about this because they're losing money. Like I said before in my other video, it's theoretical money. They still have the cards. You probably still own the cards that you have, even though these bannings occurred. But you are also wary of buying other cards. And you probably have other cards that, could be banned. And you're probably wondering, should I be selling? What am I going to do with this? This is all money that I've invested and spent over the years. Some people are calling for Magic the Gathering Commander cards to be just a game where they're worthless, and that's what's going to happen, where they're going to make, essentially cards like this, modern day cards, are not investable. I have a comment on that what makes Magic, one of the quirks about Magic is that there is a financial element that you can speculate on, you can, you can invest in, but also more importantly, it's the playability that equates also related to the investability. And it's what kind of makes Magic special. You can buy certain cards, buy out cards, you can, speculate, you can make decks around it, and, kind of have this financial element where it makes it kind of exciting. Furthermore, you also have the artist proofs and the altar cards and the pimp foils and the textless prints and the fancy stuff. There's people that have foil Gaea's Cradles that are textless, which are very rare. They come in these uncut, like German sheets or whatever. I just sold one recently, uncut sheet. And these uncut Urza cards, Urza Saga cards, are very rare. Because Urza Saga never had foil. And what do you use it for? Why would you use a Gaea's Cradle textless foil? Oh, Commander. Now, let's say Wizards decided, now that they run this entire program of Commander rules, they started doing, bannings of cards like that. What would happen to everyone? I mean, that card is very valuable, by the way, Gaea's Cradle. It's easily a $500 to $1,000 card, and there's foil versions of it from a DCI Judge foil promo, right? So there's also cards like Soul Ring, which I brought up. And also, Soul Ring, obviously, is one of the most iconic cards of Magic the Gathering history. From Alpha until now, it's been reprinted so ridiculous amount of times, multi-double digits, right? And everybody has it in their deck. What if they decided to ban that because of what they're claiming is fast mana and lack of creativity? I mean, what would you do? So the balance here is that you have, the issue here is that you have a game that you pay and love and play games with. It's just never changed, really. But then you have this like authoritarian committee that essentially can make your cards essentially worthless, in terms of value. And even though your play group, this is important to understand, even though your play group can easily play with those cards, like let's say you play in a specific play group in Commander or whatever with your friends or a card shop, and they allow Mana Crypt and Jewel Lotus or whatnot, and you essentially can still play with them. They're not, unplayable, but it's the idea and the fact that you've looked on the cards on different vendors, on eBay or TCG Player, and it's like half the price. And your stomach sinks, and you're just like, your confidence loses, the it's just like you lost half the value of your 401k literally in one day in one stock, let's say, or one stock, or two stocks, what? And it really makes you feel sick. And you lost that because of this ivory tower now, not this committee, but now it's the ivory tower who is now going to deal with it. They now are in full control of not those stocks, the cards, but also all of the cards that you have that are risk for banning. And that is so fucking scary. And I see why collectors and players all over the world have gone crazy about this situation. So I guess a lot of you guys will probably ask, well, is there really a solution to this? I guess we can speculate and be like, well, Wizards is just going to unban these anyway because, well, they're useful for decks, and there's too much public outrage over this entire situation. They're going to have to unban, especially Mana Crypt. I mean, Jewel Lotus, maybe, right? But Mana Crypt, but Jewel Lotus was used specifically for Commander. So Wizards has been making money off their sets or whatever by a card that is made specifically for Commander. You can only use it to cast your Commander. So do you get like a rebate program? Do you get money back? Everybody lines up and you can have a credit for those Jewel Lotuses you bought? No, that's not happening, right? So the financial loss, theoretical or actual, let's say you actually sold them out of panic mode, you got some money back. You got half your money back, let's say. You probably are having a really negative feeling about Wizards. And this leads to the biggest problem that I want to come to. The point of the video is that I think when you buy these Magic the Gathering cards, you are essentially playing a game, first and foremost. And I talk about newer formats especially. 100% newer formats. The new set, the new sets coming out, all the master sets, all the secret layers, whatever. You should always assume that these cards are not investable. I mean, this is 100% what I'm going to tell everybody. I've been asked the question, like Rudy, he sells those new Magic boxes, Costco discount style. Are they worth investing? My answer to you, and I'll never change my answer, is no. They're not investable. I think that you could probably make a little bit of money here and there. Sure, they'll go up a little bit here and there, but are they investable to really push you over an edge to retire one day? No. They take a shitload of space. They're just going to be reprinted anyway in a different style, some other foiling or some serialized number or some other name or some other Transformer look. My Little Pony, I don't know, Hello Kitty, Barbie, soon enough, Pokemon crossover with Magic the Gathering, you're going to see it. I wouldn't doubt it. All that shit is not investable. Sure, you'll probably watch this video and be like, well, hey, Dan, 10 years ago, I watched this guy, Daniel Chang. He told me it's not investable, but you know what? 10 years later, now it's 2034, and my boxes went up 200%. All right, fine, you win. You win, case closed. You're right. You made 100%, $100 or whatever, $200 on a box after 10 years. Fine. What's the definition of investability? Investability, to me, is significant amount of assets that actually change into a result where you can make a significant amount of change in your life. That, to me, is investability. I could buy it. You're right. You could literally buy any item and invest in it, and it goes up, I don't know, 10, 20%, 100%, whatever, right? I'm not saying necessarily the percentage is what makes it investable. I'm saying that the actual hold stability is part of the investability. Like, for example, the older alpha cards, the alpha, beta, unlimited, what do you call it? The sealed stuff, right? The artist proofs, the artwork. That, to me, has demand and collector investability where you can see run-ups of exponential amounts, but they also hold value, and they tend to not really do much during downtime. Sure, they've gone down during this time of the interest rates and stuff, but overall has held well above the 2017 range we've seen before. But it never has that, well, it's going to get banned, so let's Force of Nature is just going to get banned. So everybody's just going to sell all their Force of Natures, Alpha Force of Natures, because apparently that's useless. You know what? There's so many people that would buy all your Alpha Force of Natures right now, and they would be lining out the door because there's so many collectors, investors, and dealers that would be interested. So, and because of the sheer supply, I said Alpha specifically, not revised, there's collectability and thus investability. When it comes to these Jewel Lotus Mana Crypt, there's so many different variations. When you start fire selling this stuff, you're going to see that number of buyers lining up in comparative to the older cards is so much less, so less. All right, so I talked a lot today in this video. I want to hear in your comments below what you think about investability in this Commander format. Do you feel like Wizards now taking over is going to change the landscape of the entire environment? And will there be other bannings? Are they going to revert back and do some unbanning of the Mana Crypt, Jewel Lotus? I think they're going to leave the Dock Side and Nadu card probably alone because it's not the problem, honestly. The two other Jewel Lotus and the Mana Crypt are the issue. And lastly, this is very important. Do you trust Wizards anymore? Do you trust them now that they've taken it over? Do you think do you think that it will they'll do the right thing? Or do you think it's a beginning of a doomsday for the Commander format itself? All right, guys, comment below. Love to hear from it. You guys, and have a great week. Take care. Hey, everyone. Before we start the video, I want to show you guys these beautiful altars by Jerry Teritelli. These are more complex and challenging, and Jerry did an amazing job for the client. I work with Jerry Teritelli exclusively, so please contact me for any commissions, prints, altars, playmats, and I hope you guys enjoy the video. Take care. Hey guys, it's me, Daniel, with VintageMagic.com. I'm here to share with you more about our deck and set collector fulfillment service. The deck fulfillment service caters to the player. And what that basically means is if you are a player looking to fulfill your old school Magic deck, certain Power 9 or key pieces in your Vintage deck, or dual lands in your Legacy deck, we have the inventory and the resources to help you fulfill your needs. Next, we have the set collector fulfillment service. This really caters more towards the collector. Oftentimes I've been asked, hey Dan, can you help me find this specific graded card for this set? Or Dan, can you find me these 20 cards left in my beta set? It doesn't matter what you're looking for, even if it's like every single Sarah Angel possible out there, I can help you out. My resources and extensive network in Magic the Gathering, I was able to help thousands of clients all over the world fulfill their needs. I've made it my mission at VintageMagic.com to be your one-stop shop for all your collector needs. For any significant item or collection, we're able to travel anywhere in the world to meet you. The reason why my clients love this service is because it saves you time. What happens is collectors and players often search all over online or at vendors and they never find exactly what they're looking for. By going to us, we are the only one-stop shop who can help you with your needs. Using our service gets you exactly what you want and saves you time and money.
Vintage Magic. Game, collect, invest. For more information about our consulting and professional services, visit vintagemagic.com.